13th episode, actually. And the amazing thing about this is that, we are just constantly just running up and down here, trying to make things happen out there in the world. And so they what we really try to accomplish with this show is to educate the community about trans identified people, about what's going on in the queer community. And what I mean by the queer community is people who are LGBTQIA. And we broke that down actually in the first episode, which you can actually watch on our website. Yes, I said watch. You can watch it on thequeerlife.org, thequeerlife.org. And we have all the episodes backed up on there. You can watch the episodes because we record all the episodes live from within the studio. I've got camera set up in here, and we actually do stream via Google Hangouts on air. So we're just trying to take advantage of all the new technologies and everything and move forward with the modern era. And Miss Mandy has arrived. All business is business time. Step inside. And I also want to shout out to a very special guest in the studio audience. Jesse and my mom are joining us. And my mom, yes. Yeah. So we got some great stuff as always for you this evening. And if at any point during the show you got any questions for us, give us a call, 707-545-0318. And we can answer anything, if you want to make a shout out, somebody who's queer identified and is trying to come out, or I mean, obviously you don't want to out somebody on the radio. That would probably be the worst thing in the world. Somebody who's like in the closet and then yeah, Mandy's gonna. No, that's the secret. Remember, you can't you can't out that. Yeah, exactly. Well, Mandy will out me for $1,000. If you donate $1,000 to the station, our fundraiser is over, but we never stop needing money. I mean, we need money. All your money belong to us. So. My gosh, wow. So hey everybody, just chill out for a moment. We're gonna play a little bit of music. Gonna get your evening started. I'm sure you're probably still driving home right now. You're like, okay, what is this? I was listening to KBBF and all of a sudden there's stuff about the queer community. Dang nabbit, But no, as and just a reminder to everybody who's listening or who heard us last week and are wondering if we're permanent. Yes, we are permanent, or at least that's why I think so. But yeah, Mandy. But all right, I'll do me. You do you, girl. That's what everybody says to me. You do you. So I'm gonna play a little bit of Daft Punk, Solar Stellar from Tron Legacy, because it's really freaking awesome. Okay, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was a little bit of epic music from Tron Legacy. So freaking awesome. I love it. And now that I am here and joined as always with my co-host Mandy Howard.
Hey, what are you doing there? You doing a little radio show? Little bit of speaking to the masses.
No, I'm just running my radio show right now.
Little bit of talking to everybody on the radio.
Why do you have to talk to me in that voice there?
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you do you. You do your thing.
Can you stop talking like that?
Yeah.
So I mentioned this show is LGBTQIA perspectives. That stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, and asexual.
Say it 3 times fast.
Lesbian, queer. I already messed up
on the second word.
What does that have to? Now I'm slightly dyslexic. Okay, you can't judge me. So, normally over the air I would say hi, mom, but now I can just kind of wave, you know. And so this is The Queer Life. We talk about all aspects of the queer community, and we've got a very special show for you this evening. We're gonna talk about some current events, what's going on in the newses. You know, I've been told that I'm not supposed to use my BBC voice.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I'm. What if I want to get a job for the BBC? I'm gonna be like super famous.
Well, you'll have your practice in. It'll be good.
You know, she'll be able to, what I sound like, so that it's like my demo reel, so to speak. So, well, this evening we will be covering some aspects from the news, perhaps some depressing things, which kind of happens a lot, and
sadly it's always a lot of depressing.
Yeah, there's a lot of depressing stuff, which is why we try to balance the show between talking about very, very, very depressing things and at the same time trying to have a fun attitude, because it's like, when you're emo and sad, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of things to be upset about, but there's a lot of grateful things too. There's a lot of beauty. It's just there's not a lot of beauty that we can find current events wise in the news, So there's that, and so at 7:00 tonight we will be joined this evening with Janice Villarosa. She is a film director, documentarian who went to the Philippines and created a film called Shunned, which is which is about trans women in the Philippines, and different points of the transition, different stages of life. And I actually got a chance to see this film while I attended the Cannes Film Festival last year. Film is something very near and dear to my heart. I have an active Netflix account.
What does that mean?
I'm just like everybody else. No, but I went out there. I got to see some amazing films. This is one of them. I got to meet the director. We were able to connect. It's a very amazing cis woman who just learned about the trans community. Is Filipino herself, and went out there and documented and showed their lives in a beautiful way. And it's actually received huge amounts of success. You can IMDb it. It's called Shunned. 2014 is the production release, and so we'll talk with her in a little bit, and it'll be good. I'm very excited for it. This is some good stuff. Good stuff's happening here. So on the other side of this too, Mandy. So I mean, we've like the world is moving forward in terms of queer acceptance, and I mean, it's just simply amazing the fact that not only do most people have a gay friend, it's not a big deal anymore.
Well, actually, it's a prerequisite nowadays. You have to have at least one gay friend.
Right.
That's true. You're not cultured if you don't have at least one.
This is true. This is true. I mean,
So here's the question: if you have a trans friend, do they also qualify as both a trans friend and a gay friend?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like to the trans person, maybe not, but to the cis individual,
yeah,
cishet individual,
the cishet.
cishet.
Yeah. It's like, what's a cishet?
Yeah, cisgender or cissexual, heterosexual. Mm-hmm.
So, wait,
and every gay guy has to have a trans female friend.
This is true. This is true. As every trans woman needs a trans man.
There you go.
Yeah.
We just all kind of need each other, really.
I think a trans man needs a trans woman, needs a cis man, needs a cis woman, needs a trans woman, needs a trans man, needs a gay fish.
Well, gay fish are very important.
Yeah. I mean, they're breaded.
They're delicious. Voice
of a generation. If you know what that quote is, you can tweet us at The Queer Life, and you'll get like major shout outs from this radio show here, from this humble radio show.
And if you get that quote, you too are a nerd.
Sucks to be you, nerd. And we keep trying to bring in nerd into the
acronym LGBT. N needs to go in there somewhere.
It does. Last week we interviewed Bear Vasquez.
Oh my gosh, that was so great.
I loved it. It was so fabulous. He's a joyous man. If you can actually see, we have a video feed of him on there.
Can we play a little bit more rainbow?
It's like, I mean, we got, it's like, double rainbows all the way.
We gotta hear some.
Whoa, that's a full rainbow. All the way. Double rainbow. Oh my God. It's a double rainbow all the way. Whoa, that's so intense. Whoa, man. Wow. Whoa.
We always love the double rainbow.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Woo! Oh!
I think we can play this to always get ourselves in a good mood.
Oh my God! If I'm having a bad day, just double.
Oh my God! Oh, double rainbow.
Because last week we made a triple rainbow.
Yeah, we had a triple rainbow going. It's pretty nice.
Triple rainbow. Oh my God, it's full on.
DJ Broken Record, who's out in the studio right now, is loving this right now. Just gonna make a shout out. DJ Broken Record has a show every Monday night on KBBF.
We should get him to play Double Rainbow.
He's DJ Broken Record, home of the Double Rainbow, and the lights got turned off.
Oh, look at that. He doesn't like what's going on.
He can't handle the magnitude of these rainbows. What does this mean?
Nobody knows.
Oh,
yeah. So.
Oh my God.
There we go. Let there be light. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like, you can tweet us at The Queer Life. You can watch this episode, thequeerlife.org. We are live streaming this episode right now. There's actually a little cool YouTube widget that allows you to ask questions to us or give us like a little applause, which is kind of rad. I'm not a super audio person. I do like video stuff. It's kind of weird though. Anyway, though, I've got some nice some news things that I want to talk about. There is a news current events that I want to talk about when Janice joins us. Janice is, and if you're tuning in now, we're going to be interviewing Janice Villarosa, documentarian, filmmaker, cis woman, created a film called Shunned. Came out in 2014, and it's about trans women in the Philippines. It was beautiful. So, Mandy.
Mm-hmm.
What, Mandy is my official news correspondent person, aka she sends me stuff in my email that's good about through the news, and I'm just like, oh, and I scrutinize it, and then I send it out via our social media.
She scrutinizes it and then sends me dirty messages.
And, well,
I don't know why dirty messages. What did they have to do with the news? I don't know.
Every single one is labeled NSFW. For those of you who don't know, NSFW stands for Not Safe for Work. But since this is public radio, everything that you hear here is safe for work. In fact, it's safe for your children to listen to it. In fact, your children probably should listen to this.
Yeah, it's very important stuff.
We might speak about certain body parts and be very blunt about that.
Like elbows.
Elbows are
Super
very
important.
racy to talk about.
Well, because they can get dry and you gotta put lotion.
Yeah, it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again,
Talk about bad reference.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
All right, what news do you have?
All right, so we were going to talk about some of these last week, but we just kind of dove right into double rainbow time. So I want to talk about science. Science.
You don't have a cool song to go with that?
No, I don't actually. I mean, I could play some more Tron Legacy,
As we talk about science.
Yeah, more Tron, just like make it epic, just it's super epic here now. Okay, that was horrible. I'm not a DJ.
Hey, well, there is a DJ in the house.
There is a DJ in the house. He's probably shaking his head right now, rolling his eyes. Sorry. But okay, so I want to talk about science. There's been some great advances in science. I mean, first off, for the reason why most of us live past the age of 30, I would say, is attributed to science.
Correct. I actually live past the age of 0 thanks to science.
It's past the what? There's a story in there. I feel like that's going to come out through the interview.
Yeah, when we do the interview, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have this very special Mandy episode probably coming up sometime in December.
Maybe
maybe December,
we'll
maybe later. I'm gonna see if y'all are ready for it. If you pledge $1,000 to KBBF, maybe sooner. Maybe sooner.
It could happen.
So I mean, for one, the gender confirmation surgery, the gender reassignment surgery, the sexual reassignment surgery, the sex change operation,
which is not a term you want to use.
Yeah,
sex change.
It's considered passé.
It's considered hurtful and derogatory.
Yeah, because it's and the reason why it's just based upon use of the English language. Sex change operation basically posits that you're changing your sex, and it's the operation that you do it for. But what it really is it's changing your genitals to match how you feel and identify with in terms of your gender identity. So we use terms like gender reassignment surgery. Sexual reassignment surgery is a little bit older. It's not being used as much, although it's still accepted and used by doctors.
Yeah.
Gender confirmation surgery seems to be the new one. Came out within the last few years. It's actually published in what's her face's book, The Whipping Girl, Julia Serrano, The Whipping Girl. Say Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Say Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Say whip.
Whip.
Okay, there we go.
Now, what we have noticed on the internet and blogs and Twitters and whatever else you're looking at, Reddit or anything, what you're seeing is a trend toward the younger trans community kind of throwing off the labels that have been put on them by even my generation. So, I mean, everyone's starting to try and define themselves in their own way, which is great. But at the same time, it also creates confusion. People don't know even what to call themselves sometimes, or even how to describe what they are. I mean, we've had many discussions with people over the last few years on definitions and whether or not to use them.
Yeah, I think we mentioned in a previous episode, but transsexual was
what?
Somebody's definition for transsexual means you're attracted to.
Oh yeah. I had a lengthy argument with somebody online who told me that being a transsexual meant you were attracted to transsexual people. Which I'm like, no. And he goes, well, grammatically, that's what it means. I'm like,
no, it's not.
that's not
but
what it means.
I can understand why somebody would think that.
Yeah, homosexual, heterosexual, transsexual. So,
Yeah.
oh, hey,
So,
it must mean you love trans people.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
No.
There we go.
Superman, no.
Transsexual, no.
Mr. Chance, no. Okay.
So anybody who knows what that reference is, you can give us a call 707-545-0318 and join in our awesome nerdery.
We love nerdery.
Yeah, there needs to be a word for nerdery. Like there's like tomfoolery.
So it's the place where we hang out, the nerdery.
Yeah. The nerdery.
Yeah. The nerdery.
Come with me to the nerdery.
Nerdery. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, though, so science.
You blinded me with it.
Yes. So. Gender confirmation surgery. That's what we're talking about. It's come a long way, and it's gone basically from just being a simple, guillotine. As many people still think that it is.
Well, it never really was.
Really, but everybody was like, "Well, what about when you?"
They want to know where you keep it after.
Yeah, do you get to keep it? Oh yeah, it's a jar up on my shelf, and I keep it in there to remind me.
Yeah, sausages, but
yeah, who's the man? Who's the big boy?
Yeah, I'm a big boy.
But okay, so that's really come a long way, and it's actually it has an extremely high success rate now.
Yeah, the surgeries are getting more frequent, especially since in many countries and even many states here in the United States, they're now covering gender confirmation surgery for both trans women and trans men.
Yeah, and for people in the world who don't know, yes, trans men.
They exist.
There's one in the office right now.
Actually, we don't. If you don't want to look at him though, because he might get like. He might jump off at any moment because men the way they are.
Yeah, men they're just so too much testosterone going on. It's a little bit too much. You're gonna have to, sir.
No, we don't want to finish that one.
No, that's some of these references are not appropriate.
No, they're not appropriate for work either.
No, nor are they appropriate for raising children. But so, this is appropriate.
This is super appropriate. We just get goofy.
Yeah, So, all right. So we trans women, and I know we talk a lot about trans women. The show is called Perspectives, but if you want to hear more, we're very varied, very.
I would say our episodes have jumped all over the place in the queer community. However, there's always a trans focus, mainly because that's our perspective.
Yeah, and that's what the media is focusing on right now as well. If it was all over the news, there was like a gay fish revolution,
then we'd be talking about gay fish.
Yeah, and then the next episode would be called Fish Out of Water.
However, in the gay community itself, there's still a lot going on around the country as far as like gay marriage and whatnot. So
yeah, for those of you who haven't heard, gay marriage is now legal in over 30 states now,
something like that. I'll pull it up during the break and we can talk about that,
which is fabulous. We completely support it, and you might think, well, of course you support it. Why would you not support it?
Yeah,
but the actual thing is, it doesn't necessarily a gay marriage does not necessarily impact the life of a trans identified person.
Correct. Well, like for instance, here in California, before gay marriage was allowed again. Right, for like I don't know, the second time.
Thank you, Mayor Newsom.
There you go. Right,
or former Mayor Newsom, or like Deputy Governor Newsom, or whatever he is now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but before all that, if you were able, trans men and women were able to change their legal gender here in the state. So if you'd legally change your gender, like for me, I legally changed to female. So that meant even before gay marriage was legal, I could still marry a man because I'm legally female.
Right.
Mhm.
So gay marriage does not affect that at all.
No.
Wow.
It's a separate issue.
That's pretty mind blowing. Pretty mind blowing.
Are we doing PSAs?
I think it's just about time for from a word from our sponsors.
Are we getting any music on this break?
We're gonna get a little bit of music
We
here,
should.
so that'll be good.
Who do you have queued up?
I got a little bit of explosions in the sky.
Like just straight up explosions, or
Just straight up explosions. And the song's called "Welcome Ghosts." It's kind of I've been kind of going on like a little electronic binge for a minute. It's very soothing. I figure everybody's driving home. You want to just feel like, and I want to set the epic stage for
nothing more
life.
soothing than electronic music.
You need to relax. Okay, you need to relax.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Play little electronic music? Soothe the soul.
Okay. I think it's time for some words from our sponsors, because I'm gonna have a word with my co-host.
Uh-oh.
All right, very good. Everybody, stay tuned. You're listening to The Queer Life.
You're listening to 89.1 FM, KBBF Santa Rosa, celebrating 40 years of public service to the North Bay.
Hello, everybody. My name is Elaine B. Holt, and I'm the host and producer of a radio show here at KBBF 89.1 FM called Women's Spaces, which is dedicated to ordinary women doing extraordinary things. You can listen to the show every Monday from 11 to 12 noon. Thank you so much for listening.
Ayude a proteger las reservas de agua que en California han llegado a niveles alarmantemente bajos a causa de la sequía extrema que ya afecta a más del 80% del estado. No desperdicie el agua al regar su jardín. No lave su automóvil ni el piso o aceras de su casa con mangueras sin boquilla de control. No deje que el agua vaya a dar a la calle. Con ello evitará recibir multas de hasta $500 que la Junta Estatal de Recursos Hídricos ha autorizado para quienes desperdicien agua. Mensaje de la Universidad de California.
La Unidad de Asistencia para Víctimas y Testigos del Condado de Marin provee servicios directos para ayudarles si usted ha sido víctima de un crimen o violencia doméstica.
Comadre, ¿qué te pasó? ¿Por qué traes todos esos moretones?
Comadre, mi esposo me volvió a golpear y tengo mucho miedo, no sé qué hacer.
No es posible que toleres eso, comadre. Tienes que ir al programa de asistencia de víctimas del Condado de Marin. Te voy a dar su número telefónico. Es el 415-473-5080.
¿Me puedes repetir, por favor, el número?
Claro que sí. Es el 415-473-5080.
Me robaron mi cartera y alguien está usando mi tarjeta de identidad. ¿Me podrán ayudar?
Claro que sí. Ellos también llevan asuntos de robo de identidad. El número es el 415-473-5080.
Oh, Maria, what happened to you? Your arms are all bruised.
My husband hit me.
Oh, don't tolerate that. I know a program in Marin County that can help you. They're called Victim Assistance Program. And let me give you their phone number, 415-473-5080.
Can you please repeat it to me?
Yes, it's 415-473-5080.
I lost my purse and someone's using my identification. Would they be able to help me? Can I get that number again?
Yes, they can help you too. And the number is 415-473-5080.
Estás escuchando KBBF Radio Colectiva, gente de la calle, tejiendo voces para una voz, la voz de nuestra comunidad.
Hi, Santa Rosa. This is Pauline Angel. We're not in the studio recording an exit. I'm always tuned in every Friday night at 6 p.m. to The Queer Life, hosted by Kai Kramer and Mandy Howards. That's The Queer Life at 89.1 KBBF Santa Rosa, and also at thequeerlife.org.
I wanna be your California baby.
So guys, all right, everybody, hello. You are listening to The Queer Life on KBBF 89.1 LGBT News, Modern Perspectives, Roundtable Discussion, and Interviews. I'm your host, Kai Kramer. I'm with my co-host, Mandy Howard.
I'm actually glued to the chair, so I'm not really going anywhere.
Yeah, she's not.
No.
You know, I put that on her because I was mad that I didn't get to see her. You know, we usually have a ritual where we would go and buy lemonade together, but you know,
Yeah.
I had to go, and since she wasn't with me, I didn't buy lemonade.
And
I
now
just bought
now we're
water.
here sans lemonade.
That's the sound of me not drinking lemonade.
Mm-hmm. It sounds devastating.
It's devastating, but hydrating.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked a little bit about science, about gender confirmation surgery, that it's come to a new place. So, we'll talk more in depth about that later. I actually have a Kaiser doctor who's part of the trans clinic in Oakland who will be joining us in for a pre-recorded interview within the next couple weeks. Always trying to wheel and deal in the back here, and then so she'll be able to actually give an official kind of doctor note on what's it's like, if you need a doctor note, just listen to the show.
So far, I don't think we've had anyone like that on the show. We had the MFT. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, MFT intern.
Intern.
Stephanie Luz Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Who is brilliant. And we've had... we had a doctor. Dr. Alu from Bridge HIV.
Yes, that's correct,
but not for trans specific.
No, for their PrEP.
Yeah, for PrEP, which is an HIV preventative medication, which is
medication that you're supposed to take before you get it, not after.
Yeah, it doesn't stop it. You know, it's kind of like a condom. You know, you can't put it on.
No, once you get it,
yeah.
Then you take other medication.
Exactly, and it's not something you generally just want to use as like a carte blanche to.
And pretty much they're trying to put in any form that you can think of, from a pill to a shot to a cream to a patch
to a lubricant.
Lubricant,
yeah. You know. So some pretty amazing stuff. You can check out that episode on our website, thequeerlife.org. Look up Bridge HIV. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/user/thequeerlife. We're on Facebook too, facebook.com/thequeerlife. So another aspect of science, there was reported the first woman transplant baby born.
I think a little clarification on that would be that she had an actual womb transplanted into her.
Yeah.
And was able to give birth with the transplanted womb.
Yeah, it says a woman in Sweden has become the first in the world to have a baby boy after having a womb transplant. The 36-year-old who was born with a uterus gave birth by cesarean section last month after receiving a womb donated by a friend. Her son, Vincent, was born prematurely in September, weighing 1.8 kilograms for Americaland. That's 3.9 pounds, and was described by his father as the most amazing baby. Which I'm sure is up for debate, but
no,
pretty sure every single parent is going to say that.
But this baby is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing.
For what the child represents to women everywhere who, due to that sort of condition, are unable to have children. So this type of procedure brings a little more hope to women who aren't able to have children because of those issues,
or women who have had hysterectomies.
Yes, hysterectomies, stuff like that, and even maybe sometime down the line, allowing trans women to have children. Can you believe it?
What?
Yeah, totally true.
An abomination.
It could happen.
I mean, the ramifications that seem like sci-fi. I mean, in fact.
Well, we already saw Arnold Schwarzenegger give birth in twins. So, so we already know it's possible because Arnold did it.
So as long as the father is Danny DeVito,
yes,
we'll be fine.
This is true.
We'll be fine. I forgot about that movie.
You forgot about that movie?
Yeah.
Well, they're identical twins. You can't tell them apart.
Oh, that's right.
That's the whole thing of the story.
Wait, isn't that a different movie?
No, that's the same movie.
That's the same.
No, that's not the same movie. That's Mr. Mom. You're thinking of twins, right?
Oh, right.
Danny DeVito.
So there might be potentially a future for women who, I mean, this is already reality right now. A baby's been born. A woman, and redefines a lot of what we come to understand. Defines a woman. So, well, a lot of people say, well, a woman is a woman has a vagina. Well, that's not, or they're just defined by their genitals, or they're defined by their chromosomes. What if somebody is XXY? Does that make them more of a woman?
Yeah, like extra woman.
Yeah,
and just a quick correction because I felt that I was incorrect. The film in which Schwarzenegger gets pregnant is actually Junior, done in 1994.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Which actually does have Danny DeVito.
Danny Vito is great. I love hearing the voices from the studio here.
What? Because we said pregnant Schwarzenegger.
Pregnant Schwarzenegger. That's where we're at here. Also, a British medical team is planning the first womb transplants in the UK next year. So eventually, at some point, even trans women might have the opportunity to give birth.
And there are a lot of maybe it's not well known outside the trans community, but a lot of trans women would love to be able to give birth to their own child.
I don't talk about myself very much on the show, but that was, in terms of my own transition, a point of contention for me, making the decision, okay, if I go on hormones, I am chemically castrating myself.
Correct.
And that literally means that my swimmers will be drowners. And
well, what it means is that you'll be at some point in your transition, whether you're on hormones long enough or you have the surgery, you'll be incapable of producing your own genetically, identical children, as far as having your DNA and whatnot. In other words, they won't, you can still have children you can adopt and stuff like that, but sometimes those options, as enticing as they can be, are not really what we want.
Right.
Yeah. There's still that need
right
to carry a child, even though we're, physiologically incapable at the moment.
Right. So
I used a big word.
Physiologically.
Yes.
Oh wow, I might have to use.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah, I might have to highlight it on my Kindle and see the definition underneath.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't even know what it means, but it sounded good.
It sounded fancy. This,
fancy.
I'm just gonna throw out there that we are not doctors, we are not lawyers, we're not mental health professionals,
but we are legal geniuses.
We are legal geniuses, which is probably a detriment. And so the ramifications for the future are pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to let you know a little bit of stuff that's going on currently. I wanted to let you know some stuff that's going on in the future. But but before we break for the next hour, I want to talk about something very hard. To kind of bring up, because like I said, we try to be cheerful on this show. We try to show that life is moving forward. Like, things are changing in the world for us, but some things haven't changed.
Actually, after you go over this, I do have something to add to it once we're done talking about that specifically.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So a trans woman, her name is Kate Von Reeder, has just died. And this trans woman left a heartbreaking suicide note on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to read a little bit from the article here. Kate Von Reeder purchased a shotgun last week and began posting cryptic countdowns to her Facebook page. And on Thursday, she followed through with plans she had said had been made for a long time. This week, the California woman posted on Facebook a long suicide note before taking her life. In the note, she explained that pressures of living as a trans woman contributed to this, or were the prime reason.
Mm-hmm.
In the note, Von Reeder explained that transitioning was too difficult, writing, quote unquote, "I shouldn't have done it, not because I'm not trans, but because I didn't have a fraction of the personal strength to succeed at it, unlike some of the amazing trans people I've been privileged to know."
What I would like to point out about that, and about most of the trans women and men that we've known who have taken their own lives, they're not doing it because they are trans. They're doing it because of the way people perceive trans individuals. The way they treat them, the way they act around them, the way they behave, as far as misgendering and name calling, and just in general just being kind of nasty to us. And it happens on a day-to-day basis from not only strangers, which is bad enough, but honestly, like family and friends or just people that are close to you in general?
Yeah. I'm gonna dive into reading the note here, which we've posted a link to on the website. Go to thequeerlife.org and check out this episode. It's also posted on the previous episode as well too. But this is the note from Kate Von Reeder herself, and I might pause for a moment because it's very difficult to read this kind of thing because many of us feel very close to this. There's a lot of loss in the trans community, and just having this kind of thing happen is just very, very hard. After we read this, we do have an interview lined up for after the hour. So
actually, before you start reading, what I was going to say is just in the past year or so, I think I've known either close or people who I knew, through acquaintances, trans people who've taken their lives, probably around 4 or 5. And that's within the last, I'm going to say, about 6 months. I mean, that's way too many people. And there's way more than that, obviously, but those are just people that have touched me personally as far as my own life, including somebody that I was made aware of who had been reading my work on Instagram, thanks to a friend, and they decided to pass on my words to this person, and yet they still, ended up taking their own life. So, all right, go ahead.
Okay. Here's the note from Kate Von Reeder. Goodbye. I'm killing myself. Long form. Hey, folks. This is a post that's been a long time coming. 19 years of depression, give or take. It's been long and brutal and full of tears and angst. And it's finally coming to a close. 10 days ago, I purchased a shotgun, and today, after the required California waiting period, I picked up that shotgun. A few of you have seen me offer up countdowns and references to October 1st at around noon. That was my nod towards this outcome. I'll be honest, I don't know what to say here. I've turned over the words in my head for a little over a week now, and I'm still not sure how to find that balance between too late and here's why I put a 00 buckshot shell into the roof of my mouth. Initially, what my plan was to go into detail about my pains, waxing laborious, about my struggles with transition. I shouldn't have done it, not because I'm not trans, but because I don't have a fraction of the personal strength to succeed at it, unlike some of the amazing trans people I've been privileged to know. My physical struggles, heat sensitivity, and more recently hair loss, or my mental pain, I can't even look at myself in the mirror. But paragraph after paragraph of whining seemed like a poor way to go out. Most of you had to deal with enough of my BS. Instead, I'll say this. I'm scared, but I think it's going to be better. I don't know what comes next, and that's intimidating. But I've always believed in, something. And even if that belief is wrong, there's nothing but blackness waiting for me. It beats living day after day, trapped in my own misery. It beats being exhausted all the time. I'm scared, but I'm excited. There's fears, but under them there's this. Giddiness, a spring in my step that I've never had before. All the hurt and the pain and the constant need to compare myself to all the normal people I meet. That's all, quote unquote, done, and that's very cool. I want to tie this off with an apology to those who I have inflicted myself on over the years, whether it's reading the stuff I spew onto Twitter or suffering my vortex of negativity as a colleague. I've been albatross around the neck of a lot of people I respect and enjoy. To those who tried to befriend me and whose friendships I abandoned and allowed to wither and die, I'm also sorry, and I wish I knew how to be a friend, but I just wasn't wired that way. For these sins and more, I'm sorry. I'm just not a good person. In any case, thank you to all the wonderful folks I've known over the years. Maybe I'll see you on the other side. Maybe not. Either way, all the best and good luck, Kate.
it's not easy to hear that. So
yeah. And the reason why we share this is not because we want to depress you.
No.
It's not because we want to, get a pity party or anything for trans-identified people, for queer-identified people. We just want you to know.
Well, and what I would also say is it's more for the people, not just trans individuals, but just people in general out there who happen to be listening to the show and are suffering. And to know that there are people out there who, do feel the way they do and do suffer in the way they do, that they're not alone in their suffering, but also to know that, if you look at the comments that are made after this post, I forget how many there are up right now, but there were hundreds of them, people pouring in their love for this person. So, just realize that there are people out there who care for you, even if you don't feel that that's the case.
Yeah, and
I know that's not always reason enough.
And if you know somebody who is suffering right now, I implore you, reach out to them, give them a call, shoot them a text, send them a Facebook message or whatever, and be like, hey, I care about you. I think you're, an extraordinary person. I value you in my life, and let them know if they need anything. They can reach out to you. I understand people's relationships are complicated, and you may or may not be there for people in the ways that you would like to be, but even a message can make the difference. And like Mandy said, this is not about just being queer. This is about being a human.
I mean, look at Robin Williams that just recently happened. I mean, so right there is an example, obviously, that depression and all that is not about whether or not you have a good life, because there's no doubt that Robin Williams had a good life and that people loved him and cared about him immensely, more than most people ever have. But it's not really about that.
No matter how skilled, no matter how intelligent, no matter how successful, people are sad for different reasons, and we don't necessarily judge anybody who makes the decision to end their life, but as much as possible, their life is very valuable.
What I would say to the people who are feeling suicidal is to call somebody, and for the person who gets that call, no matter what the person on the other end of the phone tells you, you go over there right away. Even if they tell you not to, you just go.
Yeah.
Because it's super important.
So we're gonna take a little musical break for a moment here. We're gonna prepare for the next interview here. Going to be interviewing Janice Villarosa, a filmmaker of the film Shunned, and came out in 2014 about trans women in the Philippines. And so we're just gonna take a little bit, take a little musical break and play some words from our sponsors, and you'll hear some more from us here. All right, thank you so much.
Can you hear me?
Hey there. Hey there, Janice. We will.
Hi.
You are on the air, but we will get started with you in just a few minutes because we gotta play a couple commercials and stuff for the radio show.
Can you hear me pretty well? Because
Yeah.
I'm outside. I'm actually parked somewhere. A parking lot.
All right, good stuff. So, all right, so I'm gonna mute you for now, and then we're gonna unmute you in a couple minutes here. Okay?
Okay, sounds
All right,
good.
awesome. Thank you so much.
This is KBBF 89.1 FM, Calistoga.
Esta es KBBF 89.1 FM Calistoga.
Hi, this is Greg McVicker inviting you to check out our new offering every weeknight here on KBBF. We call it Undercurrents, American Music with a Passport. It's a wide-ranging, eclectic music mix that brings together some of your old favorites with a hand-picked selection of fresh new music. Folk, rock, Americana, blues, indie, alternative, roots, reggae, Latino, native, world, and a taste of jazz as well. It's radio for music fans of all ages. And we think you'll soon be finding all kinds of reasons to stay up late to enjoy it. Undercurrents, right here, every weeknight on 89.1 KBBF, Santa Rosa.
Ranger station, Ranger speaking.
Hi, I'd like to report a bear hug.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we were building a bonfire, and I saw some, dry brush and leaves around, so, I said to move the bonfire somewhere else, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear shows up and hugs me.
So you noticed some wildfire hazards and moved your bonfire to a safer location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smokey, all right. He likes it when people help prevent wildfires. It hits him close to home. Not everybody gets the hug, my friend. So that's pretty special to get a hug from Smokey Bear.
So it was him. Hey, guys, I told you it was Smokey.
Okay, well, congratulations, my friend. And thanks for calling. There are many ways to prevent a wildfire. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Guess what's happening at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds on November 1?
What is it?
There's going to be a Science Discovery Day.
Oh, that's right, just like last year. I wonder what kind of hands-on exhibits they're going to have.
We can get up close to live eagles and owls. There will be exhibits that show how radio and satellite signals work. There's a robot that knows how to shoot basketball hoops and throw frisbees.
Now I remember there will be exhibits about how to conserve water and protect the planet. We can look at the sun through a special telescope. Where is it happening again?
At the Sonoma County Fairgrounds, November 1st, starting at 11 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m. You want to know the best thing about it? It's free. Even the parking is free.
Wow, that's a good deal. Why don't we invite the neighbors and all go together?
I'll go ask them right now. We can race floating machines, pedal a bike to power a toy car, find out how to protect animals and plants.
Okay, I got it. Let's go to the Sonoma County Fairgrounds on Saturday, November 1st, starting at 11 a.m.
Santa Rosa, California. KBBF. From Santa Rosa, California, this is KBBF.
Hello, everybody. You are listening to The Queer Life on KBBF 89.1 LGBT News, Modern Perspectives, roundtable discussion, and interviews. I am your host, Kaya Kramer. I am, as always, joined with my co-host, Mindy Howard.
And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kaya Kramer.
And I am... Oh my gosh, I think I spiked my microphone way too much over here. So, all right. For this, we talked about science in the last hour. We talked about some very, 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 very harsh and depressing realities. For people who are experiencing sadness.
By the way, this business jacket, no pockets.
No pockets. So
No
it's
pockets.
it's a ladies'
lie.
business
Yeah.
jacket.
Ladies' jackets have no
that
pockets.
was something interesting when I came out as trans. I'm just like, wow, no pockets.
No
Okay,
pockets.
There we go.
now I understand purses.
Right.
It's super awesome.
Yeah, you like need one.
How often do you want to stick something in your pocket and you go to do it and it's not there?
Oh wait, I try to like sometimes and I'll forget. I'm like, oh yeah, no pockets.
Or this has fake pockets on it.
Yeah, fake pockets. What's up with that? Somebody, if anybody out there is like a woman clothes designer, just tweet me at the Queer Life and tell me why the heck aren't there pockets. I mean, maybe it's because it's flesh. Anyway, but I digress. We have a fantastic interview here this evening via Google Hangouts on air. Amazing YouTube technology. You can watch this interview. Go to www.thequeerlife.org. It's live streaming right now. You can watch the radio.
Like right this minute. This is reality.
Like this is
like it's happening right now.
This is happening right now. For
like
anybody who's confused if this is reality, yes.
However, if it's Saturday and you're listening to it, this is not reality.
John, we're watching you. No,
Jeremiah, right?
Yeah. No. No, I was just trying. Anybody out there who's named John, I'm not trying to freak you out.
No. Yeah, we know you're there, John.
So we're going to interview filmmaker Janice Villarosa, film director, documentarian of the film Shunned, came out in 2014. I saw that when I was at the Cannes Film Festival, got a chance to connect and network with her. It's a fabulous film. It shows kind of the heart and soul of the trans women in the Philippines. I thought it was absolutely incredible, a beautiful story, and I just want to share that with you. And so I've got her connected. She's been waiting in the sidelines here.
She's waiting in the green room.
She's waiting in the green room right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to offer her cookies and coffee and stuff, and it's just like no, I can't be hyped up on coffee. That's anyway though. So Janice, if you could unmute yourself on here, we are so ready for you. Yep, there we go. Awesome. So Janice, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Queer Life.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored. And it's so nice to see you after all these years. I know, right? I haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah, no, it's been almost like 2 years now since the festival. And when Janice and I met, it was like right before I started hormones, and I go there and I like see this film and I'm just like, oh my gosh! I'm like, I go to like what was it? We met at like this. It was at the American Pavilion or something like that, and it was a queer night party.
It was a party.
Yeah, amongst many parties out at the Cannes Film Festival, but we met there, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I have to talk to you about this film." And I'm just like, "What's it about?" And she's like, "It's a trans film." And I was just like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Shut the front door, lady." And I was like, "Okay, I'll see your film." I went to see it, and I was absolutely amazed, and everybody's responses to it were so incredible, and the rest of the world has responded to your film as well, right? I mean, just like.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate. Actually, when you saw the film, that was the first time I screened it, and it was actually still a work in progress at that time. And I was really apprehensive because, when I did this film, I wanted to be for the voice of the trans community, and nobody has seen it. So we were the first one. I was like so apprehensive. I'm looking at you like, okay, it's like, what does she think, And so that's one of the things I want to see your reaction and see if I actually did represent, and hearing that it did, it really, it's such a good feeling. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me to watch it and be witness to what was the first showing of
Yeah,
it.
I was excited when you were there. I'm like, yeah, I have a guest. I was telling everyone about it.
You know, let me represent the transsexual delegation. But
A lot of pressure, man.
so let's talk about the film. Could you describe the film a little bit for us here?
Yes, it's a documentary. It's a future-led documentary about the journey of transgenders in the Philippines, and I go through the discrimination that some of my girls, my ladies, have gone through, as well as like what they do for. It's not just all like the sad. It's also showing what transition, what they do to transition themselves, and as well as the love life, what they go through with their family. So I try to cover all the different gamuts that people who do not know anything about transsexualism would ask. And so I try to cover as much as I can. Because when I first started this, I didn't know anything about it. So whatever I learned, I try to incorporate in the film.
And this comes from your perspective as a cisgender, cissexual identified woman, correct?
Yes, yes, and I think with that, I think with that, it is also very, very important because I know what people go through as far as people who are not in the LGBT community, what their concerns may be, and so that's one of the things why I think I can relate to them very well. So whatever questions they may have, they may be able to, hopefully I'll be able to cover it, or I was able to cover it in the film.
Right. So I'm so thrilled that you as a cis woman has chosen to take this on because it's kind of it's one thing for trans identified people to advocate for ourselves, but it's another thing completely to talk about trans issues without necessarily being trans identified yourself. I mean, like, what attracted you to creating this?
It started out with me when I didn't know anything about transsexuals. When I went to the Philippines, I saw a lot, and I hate to admit, but I was judging. I didn't know anything about the community, and I was looking at I was trying to figure out why, and I didn't understand, and I was judging, and I'd really hate to admit that, but I recognized that within myself. So what I wanted to do is to change that. Just because I didn't want, my whole platform is anti-discrimination, but here I am judging. So I didn't like that within myself. And so what I did is I tried to, find out more, because I think when you find out more about a community or about a group, it hopefully lessens that discrimination. Just finding out about a person, hopefully you'll learn and walk in that other person's shoes. And that's what I attempted to do.
Well, in the case of trans women, we tend to like to wear heels a lot, so all you have to do is put on hair.
Oh, you guys do it better than I do. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Much better.
Because we've watched for so long, and we're like, oh my gosh, I want to wear this.
I can learn a thing or two, believe me.
In the case of Mandy and I, it's all the kung fu that we've done. So
tons of kung fu.
Yeah, you gotta balance yourself on the balls of your feet. So
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to say the two of you met at Con, and I actually met Kaya, I think, a week or so before you went to Con.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember because I met your father, and he was telling me that you were going to Con, and I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah.
You should have come as well.
I wish I could have.
That's right. So maybe next time.
We were at an IHOP, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I was like super emo.
You were super emo. You didn't talk very much, so.
I don't think I like shaved for a week.
No, you had like a huge beard.
As huge as I
You were
can.
emo. You didn't talk that much, really?
She talked a lot at con. I mean,
Oh yes.
But um, this film it took place in the Philippines, correct?
Yes, it did. It was filmed there. I started out filming in 2010, and I actually finished this year. The very last time I filmed was actually the end of last year, 2013, and I did it through YouTube. I mean, sorry, YouTube, through Skype. I had a camera person do a scene, and I was directing through Skype. Can you believe that? Technology really is awesome.
Oh, like this is like a different world now.
Exactly,
Whoa.
right? Yeah, it was awesome. So, but I had to film that, or have them film it.
Right. Well, it sure beats the heck out of a plane ticket.
That's for sure.
But so has the newest version been completely fully released yet?
Yes, it was. Well, it's been going through the festival route right now. It actually premiered in Italy in Torino LGBT Film Festival, and that was actually for me so just great, just phenomenal, just because it signified to me that, oh my goodness, I got accepted by the LGBT community. I mean, it was such a great feeling, and I really felt like I wasn't sure, because not coming from that community, I feel like, oh, like, will they accept me? Will they accept the film? And so for them to actually premiere it over there, it was just, I'm extremely grateful that they accepted it. So yay!
how was the film itself received over there, as far as the general community?
It was received very well. A lot of people, they found out a lot of things. They were saying that, I guess, a lot of people asked me, because there's a different perception. Each country has a different perception of transgenders.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, in Italy, a lot of them are in the sex industry.
Yeah.
And so I had to tell them, no, it's not. I mean, although I think there's a prime minister, or she's high up, that did go to the premiere, and she's a transgender. So they have that, but at the same time, they still, in the back of their head, they still have this I guess, preconceived notion that it's not, they don't have a real reputable job, which is really unfortunate. And in the Philippines, the same way, because there's so much discrimination. I tell them, like, how do you expect people to be in a good job if you don't give them that job, if you don't give them that opportunity, and you discriminate left and right? So I'm hoping with this film it would open up some opportunities for the T community, among other things.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. It sounds like it's gotten around.
Yes, it's actually, it won Best Documentary over in Long Island, and it won Best Documentary over in Laughlin. And then now it's being nominated for the Golden Orchid Award in Hawaii. And it's going to be shown there next week, November 2 and 3, in Fort Lauderdale in Florida, November 9 and 13. So it's going through the festival route right now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the good things that it was so good for me to hear is that when I was making the film, I really targeted towards the T community, but then a lot of people that, even though they're not in the LGBT community, they tell me that it resonates. So anybody that's ever been bullied or been shunned, that it does resonate with them. So that, to me, I mean, I didn't think about it when I was making the film, but when they tell me about it, I really feel, it's such a good feeling that it does touch people, and it does make people think.
That must have made me excited to have it doing so well.
And even, you know what, just recently someone told me, because she had a transgender working with her for like 10 years, and even though she was accepting of the transgender, she when she saw the film, she was telling me, I didn't know that's what they go through. It is after 10 years of, being with this person and knowing her, you know what I'm saying? It's so she understood more by watching the film. So that to me was very interesting. And also even my cast, they have their significant other watching the film, and a couple of them told me that their significant other you know, opened up to them and said, like, I didn't know, or I had a whole bunch of, I had some questions, but then I guess they didn't know how to ask that question.
Yeah.
They were afraid. And then somehow, the film answered that question, and it did make them a bit scared, I guess. I don't know how, but I guess it just answered a lot of questions that they were not sure.
Now, were the ladies involved in your documentary, were they at all apprehensive about appearing in it?
You know what? It took me a long time to gain their trust. That's one of the reasons why the film took longer than it did.
Yeah.
Just because, well, for one thing, I'm not in the community, so a lot of the ladies, they're looking at me like, why are you doing this? Are you going to make fun of us? Especially in the Philippines, a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of the ladies get made fun of. Even when you're watching the pageant and they're so beautiful, but somehow it's really like more like a spectator kind of thing. So so they were skeptical, but but then what I had to do was make a short film, and then I showed it to them, and that's when they realized that I do have a message. So that's when they started trusting me.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely good. I really do believe that any opportunity to get out trans stories in the media, in documentaries, and wherever is super important. I mean, that's, I think, one of the reasons why Kaya started this program in the first place, is just to get our voices out there. And so your documentary is definitely super important to that.
Yes, and then I don't know if you've heard about Jennifer Laude in the Philippines. She was murdered about 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, and she's a transgender woman, a Filipina, and she was killed by an American Marine.
Yeah.
So I have been looking at the news almost every day, and I am really astonished where there's not that much press or mention about it in the news.
Yeah, I've not heard it at all on the news. I've read it online.
Yeah, and the thing is, in the Philippines, people are really, really coming up, like really rallying, and there's even anti-American sentiments going on.
Actually,
whereas we're totally clueless about it.
The last thing I read on that story is they actually handed the Marine over to the Philippine authorities.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I heard so far.
So,
but it's just really sad that there's a lot of hate crimes that are going on that there's barely any mention about it. And in the Philippines, there were 2 so far this month that were killed. So aside from Jennifer, there's another one, but it's we're not. It's a robbery, so I'm not sure if it's just solely robbery or it's a robbery due to her being a transgender. I don't know. So even in LA, I mean, LA is supposed to be a really progressive city. However, a month ago there was someone that was, Anya. I think her name is Anya. She was killed over in East Los Angeles, cold blood. So I'm hoping that when people see my film, it would help lessen the discrimination and also the hate crime. And it's been really, really challenging. I've been trying to promote this film for quite a while, even when I was still making it. And it's just sad that it has to come to someone dying for people to take notice. When it's really sad. Even then, that person dying, it's still not even, United States is involved, and yet we don't hear about it so much. So that's really sad.
Yeah, I saw I saw a picture of the trans woman, and she's like super gorgeous, like very very feminine, very stereotypically like model beautiful.
Yeah.
And even she was killed, and was it Julia Serrano talks about it in the book The Whipping Girl, which we highly recommend. It's on our book list on thequeerlife.org, of what society deems and what the media has deemed as quote unquote the deceptive transsexual.
Mm-hmm.
And that idea is it's this beautiful trans woman who is hiding the fact that they're trans, but once they're found out, it's this huge secret thing, and then there's like a lot of shame from the person who's found out. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of violence that goes on towards trans women, and this is just one sort of representation of the hate that's out there in the world. So there's thank you for certainly mentioning this, because no, of course this isn't in the media, because as far as the media is concerned, there's very few things that are reported on. So far as the trans community is concerned, people think, oh well, we've done our part with gay marriage. Okay, shouldn't that be enough? And I mentioned earlier in the show today that gay marriage doesn't necessarily have anything to do with trans-identified people. If a trans man loves somebody who identifies as a woman, or no, even less than that, somebody who is legally a woman. If a trans man is in love or wants to marry somebody who is legally female, that trans man can do it. If a trans woman wants to marry someone who is legally male, they can do it, so long as they are legally quote unquote male or female. So there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of misrepresentation, and there's a lot of just nobody knows about trans people really. It's like a joke. Like, I'm a tight transsexual, and that's kind of like
that's a joke by itself, right?
Yeah, that's a joke by itself. It's like I thought it was a joke when I was trying to come out, but people have seen. Have you seen The Hangover, Janice?
Yes.
Have you seen The Hangover too?
Yes, I did.
I mean, it was funny. Don't get me wrong.
That's what people expect.
But that's what people expect of us. The trans woman that they have in there, she's shown in a kind of a funny way, and in a sort of a hypersexual way, and it's the part of the deceptive transsexual.
Well, what's bad about that piece in the film, especially, is that it's played for laughs. The fact that she's trans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I'm not going to say anything about whether to watch the film or not, but just that part is a bit of pretty offensive.
So I mean, it's why it's so important for cis straight people to bring awareness to trans identified people. As a trans woman, I do thank you for doing work out there. There's really no reason for you to do this. You're not going to get rich off of creating, trans work. In fact, it's probably going to, kill your bank. Sorry, hope you broke like the rest of us.
Yeah, no, but since I've been working on this film since 2010. I've became very, very, very close to my ladies. When I'm watching them over and over every day, I've been working on, because I had to edit this film. I became very, very close, and I became very attached, not just to them, but also anybody that are trans. Just that's why with you, when I saw you, I'm like, oh, you gotta watch my film, because I became, I have this. I guess more like I don't know if you call it a sisterhood or some kind of, I just feel like, I don't know, it's just, I feel attached somehow.
Aww.
I don't know how to explain it.
Well, all of us trans women do need some cis friends. You know?
We call it sisterhood.
Yeah, sister.
Sister.
So I think I have the theme song or the song from Shunned that you sent to me. It's Break Free, right? Arranged by Dua. Okay, so we have to take a moment to hear some words from our sponsors. So we're gonna go on a little break here. I'm gonna mute you for a moment again, not because I don't want to hear you, but because. So I'm gonna play the theme song here. I'm gonna play some words here, and then we'll be back in about 5 minutes to continue this wonderful interview. You are listening to The Queer Life on KBBF 89.1. I'm your host Kaya Kramer. I'm with my co-host Mandy Howard, and we are interviewing Janice Villarosa, documentarian, filmmaker, the film Shunned 2014 that it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. All right, thank you everybody so much. Keep listening. Here is the theme song from that documentary.
Deep in this world of darkness, full of pain and sadness, feeling life is void of love. Turned away from the world, dread of self-doubt embracing me. How can I go on? I kept myself in the shadows, stayed in the wilted meadows, not a hint of a doubt. Tormented me with your words, let control over me. Gave you my heart and my soul. But then I woke up from this shadows and I am setting myself free. I am what I am and I can no longer hide. I deserve to love me the way I love you. Break free from the shadows. Break free from the chains. Break free from the shadows. Break free from the chains. You keep knocking me down, spirit slam against the wall. I cry tears of pain. Round this web of self-doubt, I'm a caterpillar I spin, till I decided to break myself. Kept myself in stormy weather, your words hard leather, broken pieces of gold love. Isn't abuse my word, do what you want with me, but a crease of light got it. I woke up from this shadows and I am setting myself free. I am what I am and I can no longer hide. I deserve to love me the way I love you. Break free from the shadows.
You're listening to KBBF Community Radio 89.1 FM, Calistoga, Santa Rosa.
Estás escuchando KBBF 89.1 FM, Radio Cultura, Calistoga, Santa Rosa.
Music from around the world. Call it Musica del Mundo. La cultura musicale internazionale. Cualquier cosa. It's music from the Caribe. Música tropical. Salsa. Rapso, Sur de America, like tango, trompeta, porra, vallenato, milonga. France with musette, chanson. West Africa's high life, Afrobeat, juju. Don't forget Mexico, ranchera, trios, mariachi. I call it Música Internacional, heard every Sunday night, right here from 8 to 10 p.m. Don't miss it for interviews, new releases, and ticket giveaways. Say un chico o chica del mundo, aquí los domingos. Órale. I mean, all right. I mean, all right. I mean, all right. I mean, all right.
Lavar las frutas y verduras antes de consumirlas ayuda a librarlas de gérmenes peligrosos. El Servicio de Inspección de Seguridad Alimentaria del Departamento de Agricultura recomienda lavar cualquier fruta o verdura, aún las que se pelan. Use un cepillo para lavar frutas firmes como melones y pepinos. Corte las partes dañadas y enjuague las frutas y verduras bajo el agua del grifo sin jabón o detergentes. Luego, séquelas con una toalla limpia y seca. Mensaje de la Universidad de California.
Hello, everybody. You are listening to The Queer Life on KBBF 89.1 LGBT News, Modern Perspectives, Roundtable Discussion, and interviews. I always forget the last one.
Wait, we do interviews?
Yeah, wait. Yeah. In fact, we're doing one right now.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, this is true. And I'm your host, Kaya Kramer. My co-host joins me, as always, Mandy Howard. Our guest for our guest for this evening is Janice Villarosa, filmmaker, documentarian extraordinaire. Film documentary Shunned 2014, released at the Cannes Film Festival, is on the film circuit right now. You can reach the next film festival out there, and it's a film about trans women in the Philippines, and very, very powerful. So Janice, you can unmute yourself, and we will continue our interview here. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, it was. I don't know if it's coming from your end or my end, but it was messing up the song.
Oh, well,
it was.
We have like some technical things, so it might have been over the internet issues, but it's yeah. So let's pick up where we left off. You just filmed the last portion of Shunned over Skype.
Yes. I had to. Because I've been working even after Cannes. I was working on the film to make sure it's up to par of how I was satisfied with it. I was happy with it.
Wow.
And so I had to. That's why it's been a long journey, to say the least, just working on Twitter and. But we're just rewarding. When I saw my cast, it was the first time they saw it was actually a month ago, or around August. It premiered in the Philippines. The Asian premiere was over in Cebu, Philippines, and that's where most of my cast are. And so I was so apprehensive again of what they would think, because especially since I told them use the film as your voice. And so, and it was their first time, and I wasn't sure how they're going to react. So the whole time, they were sitting at my back, and I was sitting at the front, and I kept looking back to see how they would respond, what's their reaction. And I was trying to be so inconspicuous about it. It wasn't until we got up on stage and that they gave me a hug, and then they were, some of them were crying, and they were really thankful that I knew I did my job. And but my job is not over yet. Now it's more getting their voice out. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Now, is there a way that people who are unable to follow the film festival circuit around the world, is there any way right at this moment for anyone to see your film?
Well, right now it is going through the film festival circuit, and pretty soon I'll try to, I'm still trying to figure out where to go from there. But people can find out more about the information or follow what's going on with the film if they go on either go on Facebook and they like it under Shunned, and so they'll get updates. Or they can also go through my website at www.shunned.info. So hopefully, I'm relying so much on word of mouth. I don't have a company supporting me, a big company supporting me. It's self-funded. So I don't have the money for publicists.
Right.
And so I'm really relying on word of mouth. And, hopefully people would call their festivals or call press and let them know, hey, we need to see this film.
Well, I
And
feel like up to 5 million more ears are hearing about your film right this second.
5 million, I didn't know that.
We're guesstimating, but yeah, up to, right?
Up to.
Yes, I'm really hoping that that people would spread the word, help. Um, I'm really in this advocacy of helping to stop discrimination and also hate crime. And so my friend told me, because I had such a hard time getting the support of people. First of all, I was discriminated on by even the cis community just because, I'm not. They're looking at me, just in a funny way and wondering. I mean, this film had a lot of resistance, because there's still this stigma against it. So I got that from that community, and then from the LGBT, it was more. It's a slow process. So for the LGBT festivals to actually accept it's been incredible for me. It's a good feeling that slowly the film is getting accepted, and so now I'm just hoping that people would spread the word and let like festivals know that hey, we need to see this film, and just get it out there, and then it's been tough. Even going through festivals has been tough because it has faced some reluctance as well.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, when they hear about it and people request it, that they would actually open their arms. So
Now, have you faced in the places that you're going with your film? Have you faced any lashback from the communities where you're showing it?
well, I go around because I'm the only one, I also do the marketing of it. So I've been passing out postcards to people, and I have faced a lot of discrimination as well.
Yeah.
People would, they look at my postcard because I have these, beautiful girls there, and they would say, "Oh, there's beautiful," and they'll be like, "Ooh, who's this?" And then when they read what it's about, then they just like kind of throw the postcard away.
Yeah.
And then they look at me, from head to toe, like, and they just have this like get away from me kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So I got those. I got like the worst thing that happened to me, and I called Kaya. I actually called. Remember Kaya? I called you about it.
Yeah.
One of the guys, his friend asked me, "Oh, are you transgender?" And I told him, "Well, guessed." And his friend said, "Well, why don't you drop trowel?" Like in a really, really rude manner. And that to me sent chills down my spine. And I talked to Kaya. I said, "Kaya, listen, this is what just happened to me." And she she told me, "Janice, this happened to us every day of our life."
Mm-hmm.
And that to me was more. I mean, I did wake up before, but that was a real wake up. That hey, I need to get this film out, because this guy talking to me that way, it was not a good feeling. It just can't, sent this chills down my spine. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what gives you the right to talk to anyone that way?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
the more, the more that's why I cannot just phantom what you're going through. That to me was just a wake up call. Like, oh my gosh, I really need to help them stop this.
Well, sadly, that experience and one similar to it are very, very common with trans individuals, not just women, but men as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So no, absolutely. This, keep doing the work that you're doing with this, because it's clear that this needs to be done. And these questions are asked by pretty much anybody. The average walker buyer, the acquaintances,
or even coworkers.
Coworkers will ask you, ask a trans person about their genitals.
They'll mime scissors. Or,
they'll mime scissors or guillotines.
They have you, chop.
Yeah, or they'll police officers ask frequently what the state of someone's genitals are. And they're and I just put out there they're it's inappropriate no matter who it is, just because the police officer
they have no right. Nobody has any right to ask you about the state of your genitals.
Yeah. So
and I think also, I don't know which country it is, that they were saying that you are qualified to be a female if you had your SRS surgery. I don't know if it was Canada or one of these other countries. Maybe you can shed light to that. Do you know which country it is?
Actually, here in the state of California, I'm legally female, but yet I've not had my surgery. However, I'm
Okay, so
scheduled
you don't.
for surgery, but I'm already legally female. Even my birth certificate has been changed.
Okay, so you don't need to be. You don't need to go through SRS.
Not here in California. Some states, obviously, you're different. Some states, even if you have the SRS, they won't change your gender marker or your birth certificate, especially. Canada tends to be a lot more open towards the trans community, so I wouldn't doubt that you probably don't even need the surgery there in Canada, most likely. I mean, we could look that up later, but
I believe not. I have
No.
a friend in Halifax, and that's not the case out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because as we've learned and as we've educated people through this show, that gender identity is not between the legs; it's between the ears, and
and not located in the eardrums. It's
and not in the eardrums.
That's a real misconception, you know, like everybody tells me as well when I was doing the film, and people do ask me about that, and that's a real huge, misconception that everybody wants to have SRS surgery, and that's not true.
No.
Not everybody wants to, and that's one of the things I also uncovered in doing the film. And that's the reason why I wanted to get the film out, just because it answers a lot of questions that cis people have, and so hopefully by seeing the film that they're more educated and they know, okay, well, they don't have to, I guess, keep asking questions because they already know that they, not everybody have to go through surgery, or not everybody wants to. So.
And what I was going to say about your documentary is that not only is it important for cis individuals to see the film and other people, but it's also super important for other trans women and men to see your film, because it's just another example for them, especially if they're in hiding, that they're not alone, that the feelings they have are common within that community, and that there are people who have the same ideas, same thoughts, and same desires even. So, I mean, just knowing that there are other people out there like you really, really helps.
Yes, it really helped. I did meet some transitioning people, some people who were transitioning, and they were really thankful because it did answer a lot of questions as well for them. So I'm really glad they were able to get the chance to see it. And I do hope, Kaya, I mean, when you saw the film, I do hope that it also empowers anyone that has gone through discrimination or even just been shunned, that empowers, it gives hope, and that's the message that I hope people get out of the film. So.
Well, it absolutely does. It lets people know that there are others like us who have experienced discrimination and share the trajectory of just being trans. That's the biggest thing. One thing that I talk to, I've met a ton of young trans people through the work that I've done, all the public speaking and all this work in the community. And there's a lot of people who have said to me, I feel like there aren't that many people like me, because I'm not just like that, and what I tell each and every one of them is that yes, you are you. You have your own unique trajectory. You've come to being the person that you are because you lived the life that you lived. But make no mistake, there are others who share some of your experiences, who identify as the opposite gender that they were assigned at birth. And even though we come to this place of identifying as trans in so many different ways, we are connected by that struggle, by in many ways by the discrimination that so brings us down. We are united by it, because I can talk to pretty much most, and I say most because not everybody experiences discrimination as a trans-identified person.
Well, what I was going to say is the one thing that I noticed when I started reaching out into the community after I came out a few years ago was that listening to other girls' stories about how they experienced their childhood, how they experienced, coming to terms with who they were, how they experienced their coming out and everything, and all the stories were extremely similar. I mean, they had, of course, differences, but they're all very, very similar.
Yes. Well, I think that's what's hard. And it's a good thing, that you're doing the show, because I think it's hard here in America because people are all spread out. For one thing, at least in the Philippines, the good thing is that there are communities that people have support. Whereas in here, everyone is so. I think everyone is so spread out that people feels alone. Most people feel alone in this struggle.
Haven't we heard, Kaya, before from many trans women and men that the trans community doesn't really exist? That there is no actual community, so to speak, not in the way that there is for gay and lesbian communities.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the trans quote unquote community. It's so disjointed, much in the way that people say that there's an Illuminati. Or
the trans community is out there somewhere. They exist.
we're watching. And
yeah, actually, we're we here and her with her documentary and other people that we've met along the way. Those are the people creating the trans community. And it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting to know the community slowly.
So it sounds like you still have contact with all the trans women in your documentary, and have you to check in with their progress and see how they're doing?
Yes, yes, I have, and some of them I did put what they've been going through at the end of the film, because I have the beginning, middle, and end. What happened to them. There's actually one of the girls. She fell in love with what do you call it? She fell in love with a lesbian. So that to me was very interesting, and but. Some of them, I shouldn't tell so I can't give away the ending of the story. So I'm like, okay, how can I
have some of them on the show later, and
No, that's great. That would be phenomenal. I should have told them, because they would love that. Are you kidding me? Yes, they would
love to talk to them.
Yeah, have them share the story, and then when you finally talk to them about it, and so everybody who's listening right now, if you donate $1,000, no, I'm just kidding. no, we have them on here.
But then there's the internet, so that's fine.
Okay, so we have a couple more minutes here before we have to wind down. About three more minutes. Is there anything else that you want to talk about this show and about this about this documentary that you've done, and what you're looking forward to with that?
Well, I am hoping that people would see it. If you're out in Hawaii, November 2 and 3, it's showing there. I would love to meet you. I would love, to have the community come, and then, for me to say hi to, I would love to meet you. And in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, International Film Festival, it's showing November 9th and 13th. So, please come out and see the film, and I do hope you are going to be proud of it.
There you have it.
Well, I was going to say I could use a vacation in Hawaii.
This sounds good. We have the Queer Life field trip.
We can broadcast live from Hawaii.
Yeah, broadcasting live from the beach.
That sounds great.
Sounds good to me. Okay, everybody, send in your donations.
Yeah, we need money to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. Actually, when I do come back from Hawaii and also Fort Lauderdale, we are planning to have some kind of rally. So you'll be hearing back from me, Kaya, because I do want to organize a rally, an anti-hate crime, anti-discrimination rally against the transgender community. So that's something that, unfortunately, I cannot do it before I leave, but then once I come back, the end of November, perhaps, I would love to have everybody join and join in this rally. we're not sure yet exactly, the specifics of it, but I could let you know later on.
Absolutely, please do. And we will update all this information via our social media feeds, facebook.com/thequeerlife, Twitter @thequeerlife, www.thequeerlife.org. Okay, well, Janice, thank you so much for joining us this evening and giving us a little bit of your time and sharing this wonderful work that you've done.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I really, really appreciate that. You have me, that you actually like the film. You're proud of it. I'm so happy.
So great. Okay. All right. I think that's about all the time that we have for this evening. That was Janice Villarosa, documentary filmmaker, Shunned, 2014. This is the Queer Life Radio Show, LGBT News, Modern Perspectives, Roundtable Discussion. I am your host, Kaya Kramer, and I'm with my co-host, Mandy Howards.
Always with super awesome jokes, too.
Always, and references, and nerdiness.
And references, and nerd stuff.
So thank you, everybody, for listening. Here's a little bit of Thievery Corporation.